Hey everyone, so one of the biggest questions I get on my channel is, Liz, what is your favorite DIY? What do you do with all the DIYs on your channel? How do you keep all of these DIYs? And those are excellent questions. Now I have to say, I don't keep every DIY, but I thought a great video would be showing you the DIYs that have stand the test of time. They're still in my house today. I still love them, and I'm gonna show you how to make them. So in my living room on my mantle, I still have this olive branch tree that I made. It was a Dollar Tree DIY, and I love the way this turned out. I've had this up here for several months now and absolutely love it.
So you definitely should be able to get all the supplies you need for this project. I picked up a pot from Dollar Tree, and then I went outside and grabbed a stick outside. Since this is going to be a topiary, it's going to be kind of angled at the top. I'm also going to grab olive branches from Walmart. I'm going to use my drill to drill in a hole for my olive branch pieces. And I'm just going to do that on every side, just drill holes, add in more olive branches. And I did this until I felt like it looked full. Now to put my topiary into my planter, I went in with some plaster of Paris and water, mixed that together, and then added in my tree. You have to have something kind of stable to hold it in place until it has a chance to dry. Once it dries, you can take all that off and your planter will be good to go. I also used some gray paint to kind of mask any of the areas where I cut off on the stick. I also wiped down the branches because there was a lot of dust from where I had to go in and drill holes. And then I'm also going to add in a few more leaves and olives. I'm going to finish it off with some Dollar Tree rocks.
In a Dollar Tree video, I put together these candles. They're so simple to do. Literally all you have to do is glue a bunch of candles together, but I think they look so great in this grouping. If you guys remember, this is a thrifted print that I put together as well. I love the way the candles look over here.
Grab 6 of these Dollar Tree candle holders. You should be able to still get them. And I removed all the tags. Next, I'm going to use some construction adhesive glue. I had the Gorilla one. You could also use E6000. I'm going to take 2 of the candle holders and glue them together, the bases. And then for the taller one, I'm going to glue 2 of the top pieces together, and then I'm going to glue another base piece on top, and then one won't be glued at all. These candles are from Ikea, and I love the way this looks.
So as you walk into my house, this is my front entry table. And of course, you guys know I love a good rope tray. I made this one recently in a Dollar Tree video, and I think it looks awesome in this grouping.
This table is chock full of DIYs, but I'm going to show you the rope tray. So you want a clear tray from Dollar Tree. You're going to get your nautical rope in the link that I have down in the description box. Next, you're going to start hot gluing in the middle, and you're just going to hot glue it completely in place until you get to the edge. The trick with this is you want to make sure there's no spaces in the middle, so you have to really hot glue it tight together. Go all the way to the top until you don't see any more of the tray, and then you're going to cut off a piece and hot glue it to the back. Now, since I wanted this to have like an appearance of that Pottery Barn look that I was going for, I'm going to be using a paint pen that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to be using just some regular craft paper. You could use anything that you had on hand to mimic the look of the petals that I saw. Then I'm just going to tape it in place and draw around the petals. So I wanted the lines to also be thicker, so I drew an additional line with them. This was honestly really easy to do.
So you have to go maybe 2 years back on my channel to find this little print that I made. I made a collection of prints. I did 6 of them. I love pulling these out in the spring to decorate my hutch. I think they're so cute and a great little wall art piece.
If you've been around long enough to see this project on my channel, thank you so much for sticking with me for so many years. But I love the way these look. These are really cute little prints. I will try to find the link for them and put it for you down below. You also need 8x10 frames from Walmart. I bought 2 packs of 3, so they were really inexpensive. And all I'm gonna do is take these pictures that I printed out on my computer, and I'm gonna draw a line around them with my pencil, and then I'm gonna cut out that line so that they're gonna fit perfectly into my frames. I love having like a coordinating set of prints. I just think it looks really nice together. So I'm gonna put the print in, and then I'll put the glass on top. And I love these little black frames. I just think they look so nice with that little border to them.
This last year, I did a ton of DIYs in my daughter's room, and I love so many of the projects in here. One of my favorites is definitely this Ikea bench that I put together. It is perfect for under this big window in her room, and I love the way it turned out.
You guys know I have an obsession with these calic containers. I just use them way too much. So I picked up some foam as well, and I'm gonna start with the top of the calic container. I'm gonna draw around it and cut out a top. Next, I put the calic container together. This is pretty easy to do. I picked up these gold legs off of Amazon, and I just put a little mark where I needed to drill the holes and then put them on the bottom. I did this on all 4 sides. Next, I realized that I measured my foam wrong, so I actually had to recut it, which luckily I had enough, and I was working on another project as well. I picked up a piece of plywood at Lowe's for this project, and I just hot glued the foam to the board. Next, I grabbed an Ikea throw, and I'm gonna use that to staple in place. Now, you don't wanna pull your fabric too hard when you're stapling it. Just make sure that it's laying nice on the top. And I folded the corners in on the edge, stapled it in place, and cut off any excess fabric. Now I just laid this on top, and really we don't have any problems with it coming off. These pillows I added are from Amazon, and I'll link those as well. The polka dot containers, those are from Ikea.
I love this little nook in my daughter's room. We were kind of trying to figure out how to make the best use of the space here, so we added in a desk. We also put up the wallpaper, and my husband was nice enough to wire it so we could put a light up top. But this little nook is perfect for makeup or a desk.
All right, so to start this project, I went to Habitat and found a countertop that we could cut down. I think this was like $5, and we just cut it down to the size we needed it to be. I primed the whole entire counter, and I painted it white. Now, I will say the white has gotten kind of dirty just with my daughter doing makeup and art projects on it, but I can always repaint it pretty easily. I picked up this gorgeous floral wallpaper off of Amazon. It's the peel and stick kind. I'll link it for you. And we did 2 passes of it. It was a little tricky figuring out the second one, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, just because we had to figure out how they matched up. So I like using wallpaper, but I would never want to do a whole wall. For me, I just like it in a small amount because I get kind of frustrated with it. So next, my husband added some boards, and then we put the desk that we picked up for, you know, just $5 or something at Habitat for Humanity. And then he also cut out, which I thought was a really cool idea, a little hole in the back that we could use to string cords through. Now, I decided I wanted to put a mirror, but since this didn't have as much storage, I found this medicine cabinet mirror at Habitat that I thought it would be cool, and it really has worked out well. She really uses it to put, you know, different products in. And I just did the same thing with the mirror. I painted it white, and then we hung it up. I think the mirror was maybe $5 or $10. We added the light up top, and I found this adorable bow chair that I love so much.
I love so many of the DIYs that I put together in my bathroom. This one especially is from a home hacks video, and it's so easy to put together.
So you're gonna get 2 glass containers from Dollar Tree, 2 coasters from Ikea, and all you have to do is put them on top. It's that easy, you guys, and it looks so cute.
So this is where I get ready in the morning. I put up these Ikea shelves. This was probably one of my first Ikea DIYs. I probably did this maybe 2 years ago. And I updated these shelves, but they're perfect for holding my skincare, just different things that I use on my face in the morning and night.
I'm pretty sure this was my first IKEA DIY that I did on my channel. So I got the spice containers that they sell at IKEA and I painted each piece with a Waverly white chalk paint, did 2 coats. I used a marble contact paper and I believe this one I got off of Amazon, and I just put it on the top portion and then cut the holes on the side and assembled everything together and hung them up, and that's really all there was to this DIY.
So I really want you guys to know the DIY projects that have been in my house the longest, the ones that I love. I think one of my favorite ones is one that I did in a Dollar Tree bathroom DIY video 2 years ago, and it's the perfect little container for holding my lipsticks. I keep this on my vanity still today, and it's just perfect. It holds probably like 5 or 6 lipsticks.
All right, so I grabbed this container from Dollar Tree and all I did was just use this Rust-Oleum Imagine. It's kind of like a metallic gold spray paint, and I spray painted 2 coats on the top, and that's all I did to create this look.
To answer the question what my favorite DIY has to be right now, it definitely has to be this wall hanging that I recently created for my bedroom. You guys, this wall hanging is a pillowcase that I picked up at the thrift store and did an easy paint technique. But look at how high-end it looks. I have seen similar wall hangings on Anthropologie's website, Pottery Barn, and it literally cost me next to nothing.
So to create that fun look on the front, I used this set of ring forms that I had from Walmart, and I'm gonna trace different geometric shapes on there. Then I'm gonna use a sample paint that I had from Sherwin-Williams. It's called Rainstorm, and I'm just going to paint onto the fabric. Really simple. You can use quite a bit of paint when you're doing this. I'm gonna use my nautical rope to create a hanger on the back. I'm also gonna put a dowel rod on so that it holds the piece straight across.
So there's nothing more I like than finding an awesome find at the thrift store and updating it and having it look super high-end. I think these lamps look so high-end in my bedroom. They were only $8 at the thrift store, and I'll show you how I updated them.
So the key with doing bedside lamps at the thrift store is making sure you find a matching set, which can be kind of tricky to do. So I was lucky to find these. So I started by taping off the base and then just spray painting with 2 coats of a matte black spray paint. Next, I wanted to cover these lampshades, so I created a template on some craft paper that I had and cut that out. I also was going to cover these with the old curtain panels that were in my room, which, was a great way to upcycle those. Plus it was a nice white fabric. So I'm just going to trace out my template onto my fabric. I'm going to use this awesome spray adhesive to attach it to my lampshade. This stuff works really well. I'll link it for you down below. And then I'm just going to put it onto my lampshade and add some more of the spray adhesive to do the top and the bottom. And really that was all there was to those lampshades. I painted with some metallic and brown to kind of mute down that gold paint just a little bit. And I like the way that it turned out. Here's a look at how the lamps turned out in my room.
I love so many of the DIYs I did in my daughter Annabelle's bathroom, and the wall art is so inexpensive and looks so great. This piece I put together with just buying some simple, inexpensive shims that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. And how much of a statement does this make in the bathroom?
All right, you guys, let me show you how to put this one together. So grab a sheet of plywood at Lowe's. You're also gonna grab maybe like 2 packages of the shims. I started by staining some of the shims, and then I also painted some of them. I mix paints all the time to get the color that I want. So I put a little bit of pink and white acrylic. I wanted this to have like an ombre look, so I tried out different colors. Now, after I did this acrylic paint, it was too bubblegum for me. So then I came in with the paint that I used in a room. I don't know why I didn't think think to do that from the start, but it looks so much better. I also painted some white and then added in a little bit of distressing. Next, I marked a center line down the middle so that I could add in the shims, and I did like this cross pattern. I didn't really know how this would turn out, so I laid them all out ahead of time. Then once I had them where I wanted, I used wood glue to put all of the shims in place. Now, as you can see, it's hanging over the edge, so we had to go in with my husband's saw and cut off the edges to give us a nice clean look. Then I had two, I think they were 1x2 pieces that I used on the sides. So we just took the 1x2 pieces, 1x2, and we added wood glue to the sides, and then we put some clamps on them as well just to hold it overnight so everything could dry. And then we put a hanger on the back, and I just think it looks great.
Also in this bathroom, I get a ton of questions about this wall hanging that's so cute, and probably because it's so inexpensive and was really fun to put together.
I get a ton of questions on this macrame piece, so I'm glad to show you guys this again. So you're gonna take a 1x2 piece and stain it. I think I used golden oak, and then I'm gonna cut off some macrame pieces that are all the same size. And then I'm gonna go to the back and hot glue to one side. Then I marked 7 inches in where I'm going to put the next piece, and I'm gonna continue this pattern all the way until I'm to both of my marks. I added additional hot glue to the top. Next, I wanted to dye the bottom, so I added some pink dye to a container. I ended up having to add quite a bit, stuck my pieces in there, and then I kept adding more dye and then putting less in so it kind of had an ombre look. So you can see that it's more pink towards the bottom. I used some command strips to hang it on the wall.
So you're gonna have to let me know which of the DIYs I shared was your favorite. Let me know down in the comments. I love knowing your opinion. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I post 2 DIYs each week. And if you missed our last one, I'll link it here for you. And I'll talk to you guys in our next one. Bye.